All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
All right. Welcome to ASAP Real Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we are currently on All Sports, All Plays Network. We are brought to you by Suzanne Paparazzi Jewelry. All products are lead and nickel. All products are $5. Special offer for ASAP sports viewers. Free matching earrings when you buy a necklace. Order now at paparazziaccessories.com. Promo code 160920. We also got some t-shirts for you guys. First t-shirt being if you comment, share, like, do anything with this content for the most part that gets us out to the masses, and you're the most person doing that, we're going to give you a free ASAP t-shirt. Now, folks, I don't even have a free ASAP t-shirt, and I'm here Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and every other day of the week, and I don't get no free t-shirt. Also, if you don't want to try to win the t-shirt, you can just simply buy the damn t-shirt. You can buy for $25 for shipping and handling. Just go to our website and order a t-shirt. $25 shipping and handling if you don't want to try to win it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy vibing with us, like I said, please like, share, and subscribe and all that kind of good stuff to help us get out to the masses. We certainly appreciate you, and hopefully you appreciate the content that we're about to deliver. And I am your host, none other than fabulous JJ McLovin. And I am joined by Coach Cam, Freddie Hendo, and Chris Shaggy Doo.
I don't understand what Shaggy, my guy.
You don't understand that hair, Shaggy? Well, I'm sorry. Look in the mirror, and then you'll understand.
I see what curls, but let's go ahead and continue with the curl.
Shaggy do. Stop it. All right, y'all ready to get this show popping?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
All right, let's go on ahead and go. Hey, first topic for today is: has analytics ruined sports? I'm gonna go first on that. I think it's a twofold question, man. I think analytics has helped the sports in terms of how we can make the game better, how we can make the plays better. That's how you advance the game and get it to go in a new direction. So I can see the importance of analytics. But sometimes the old school part of me, because I'm a little older than some of you cats, and the old school part of me just likes it back like it wasn't a day when you just went out there and played ball and you tried to fit your players into your schemes without using the analytics. I still kind of like that old school. But, I understand old school is in the past, and we kind of go into this new millennial generation of people. And so we kind of have to advance with the times. So I do see the need for analytics if you want to get that competitive edge on your opposing teams. What do you think about that, Chris Brown?
Yes, so it's a two-parter. Yes, analytics has helped the game. It helped, look at injuries. You don't have to play players, things like that, help with the injuries, help with developing plays. It's a good part of analytics. But analytics really hurts the game. It's just like a lot of people now just want to go off analytics. Analytics don't count heart. Analytics don't count, okay, I got a guy on me right here. He's tired. Analytics don't count, okay, I got adrenaline. Analytics don't count those type things. And that honestly messes up the sport. You look at the World Series. They took out, I believe it was Blake Snell. He was doing his thing. They take him out, and what the Dodgers do? Get 2 runs. So, you look at basketball, it hurts analytics. Like I said, it doesn't count adrenaline, doesn't count the person guarding you. So it helps out, yes. But it if players and teams keep going straight off analytics, it will continue to hurt the games. Not just basketball, football, but baseball, hockey, whatever sport using analytics, they're starting to hurt it.
All right, good. Yeah, I agree with that. It doesn't show the heart. You're right. It doesn't show the heart, and it doesn't take all the X factors that computer just can't give you. Like it's not going to take the fatigue. It's not going to take if he's got an injury. It's not going all those little nuances. It's not going to give you that. So I get that. Freddie, what you got, baby?
I think we all are going to agree on the same thing. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It do help, like in basketball terms, help speed up the game. I mean, look at Golden State. I mean, I'm pretty sure, they're pretty much on the analytics side, on how many 3-point shots Steph Curry needs to take. I mean, it's a lot of that. You have to speed up the game. But then again, it do hurt the game because you're not getting the very best product on the floor. You don't see too many people diving on the floor, as Chris alluded to. So, I mean, this is a two-part situation where it hurts it, but it also helps it as well.
Roger that. All right, Coach Cam, what's your philosophy on it?
I mean, analytics is okay. I'm not for it all the way. I'm all kind of an old school type of guy myself. At some point, what does the eye test tell you? It's like what Blake Snell, 73 pitches, but analytically, they say the third time around is when you get hit. Well, what did the eye test tell you? The eye test told me that Blake Snell was dealing and that wasn't nobody going to touch that man that night. And that's what the analytics that's where analytics comes in and hurts the game. And even with basketball, who tells you that, analytically it's bad to take a mid-range? Like, that's the kind of stuff right there that where analytics is killing the game. Guess what? Your best players on the championship teams the last 4 years had a killer mid-range.
Exactly.
KD, Kawhi, I mean, come on, now LeBron. So come on, mid-range ain't dead. They got to get with it.
I agree. Antonio Strader says he don't like this analytical BS. It's overplayed too much. I get it, man. It's like, do we want to use the replay as much as we do, right? I mean, do we want to go with the human element and let human element keep the game natural, or do we want to constantly replay every single play just so we, I guess make sure they get it right?
Yeah, we got to replay. I love the addition of the replay because.
Do you like it for everything, or do you think it should be limited? Like there should only be a certain number of plays that are replayed, and not as many as what they have been doing.
I mean, you look at football under 2 minutes, especially in the fourth quarter, touchdowns and things like that. That needs to be reviewed. Things like that can, determine the game. So when it's plays that help determine the outcome of a game, I think it all needs to be reviewed because we've seen countless times team get screwed because of bad referee officiating.
Man, do you know how many times the Houston Oilers back in the early 80s, even late 70s, early 80s, do you know how many times they got screwed over?
Wasn't it some of the Steelers?
It was a lot. There was a couple of situations where when they were playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, when Warren Moon and them were the quarterback, and that the ball was inbounds and they cost them a touchdown. And two games, I know specifically, two different situations, two championship level games against the Steelers, and they cost them the Super Bowl. So yeah, I get it, man. I totally get it. Real quick before we go on to the next topic, Brady, I want to talk about this Snell situation. I know we didn't put it in the topics, but I think we need to address it. I don't know how many of y'all were hot. I was livid. How you gonna take Blake Snell out at 73 pinch count? The guy had 9 strikeouts. He had no runs yet. Yeah, I understand you got a man on first. And a quote unquote from the coach. Now the coach's excuse for this was he didn't want his pitcher to see the lineup for a third time in a row. Are you freaking crazy? Joe. Listen, if you got a stud, and I got you, Freddie, if you got a stud, you put that gas to the pedal till he gives you a reason not to. And just because you got a man on first is not a freaking reason. It's absolutely, unequivocally the worst decision I've ever seen a manager make in doing so, because he cost his team that game. Because as you know, when they took Snell out, what happened? That game
score.
That game went all the way south.
Can I go first?
Somebody needs to get a new coaching job. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Freddie Henderson, I know you got a question. Go ahead, brother.
Well, it's funny because, the night before, I think we had a show and we asked, who's under more pressure, and I said that the Dodgers was, and absolutely positively, if they would have not took Snell out, man, the Dodgers is in trouble of losing that game, and possibility of losing
Yeah,
this.
but that doesn't mean they had any more pressure, Freddie, because they still had Game 7. Come on now.
Yeah.
They still had Game 7. The pressure wasn't there. Clearly, the pressure was on the Tampa Bay Devils. Because let me ask you a question, Freddie. Where are they at right now?
What I'm saying is that relieved the pressure. They gave the game away because the Dodgers could not score on this dude.
Well, I'm saying, Freddie, there was never no pressure there. When you got Game 7, you're not playing with pressure because you got Game 7. You don't feel Game 7 until something's actually on the line.
Well, I think the Dodgers feeling pressure. They knew it was at stake. They knew they tried to do.
Snell said he was mad. He said about 3 curse words leaving the mound.
I would have been pissed off.
Yeah,
I'm dominating. I'm dominating. How you gonna take me off and I'm dominating? Like, what is wrong with you? I'd have been pissed off too.
He said you didn't. Even Snell said that the coach did not give him an ample opportunity to make his adjustments.
Somebody
would have made those adjustments.
Room.
Listen, when you got a guy on the mound that is a former Cy Young Award winner, this is a guy that knows how to make adjustments. He ain't no scrub. This is a Cy Young Award-winning pitcher. Let the man make his adjustments before you pull him. Absolutely ridiculous. Freddie, pull up that next slide, baby.
Oh, they lost.
Who are some of the Basketball Hall of Fame snubs? Hey, I'm gonna take this one real quick because I always said I have a few, honestly, that I think are some of the snubs. Most, and some of them are point guards, but I think Shawn Kemp was a huge snub. But you know who I think was my major snub was Chris Webber. Absolutely, Chris Webber. And if I had another one to go, I'd go Kevin Johnson. And those are my 3 that I got for different reasons. I still think Webber's being blackballed, but that's just my opinion. But those are my 3. I got Chris Webber is a big one. I got Kevin Johnson. So those are my guys and stuff. So who do you? Shawn Kemp. So who do you got, Freddie? Who do you think are your snubs that didn't make it in and why?
My top 3 is number 1, Ben Wallace. He was a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, a 5-time NBA All-Team, a 6-time All Defensive Team. He's one of the top 10 greatest defensive players of all time. Do we not remember what he did to Shaq and Kobe in 2004? I mean, they beat the Monstars as Shaq and Kobe. They handled their business, and for that dude not to be in the Hall of Fame, to me, is just plain out disrespectful. And like Jay McLevin said, I also have Chris Webber on here. He's a 5-time All-Star, 5-time NBA on all NBA list team. He averaged 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists, and he's a top 15 power forward of all time. I mean, that dude, like Jay McLevin said, he is blackballed for some reason. I don't know why that he's not in the Hall of Fame, but he's flat out being disrespected. And then next, I have Chauncey Billups. I mean, this dude was a good point guard back in the day. Like he said, he's a 5-time All-Star. He was on the All-Team defensive team 3 times. And he's also a Finals MVP. And I mean, he's a top 20 point guard in the game, in the history of the game. Those are my top 3. Snell, the Hall of Fame.
All right, good job, Coach Cam. What you got, baby?
All right. I agree with you, Freddie. With Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace was an anchor for those Detroit Pistons team. As soon as he left and went to, I believe, it was the Chicago Bulls. When he went to the Chicago Bulls, that's when that team started to unravel a little bit, and you see them come back down a little bit. The Detroit Pistons. So he was definitely a huge part and the catalyst to that Pistons team. So definitely, I agree with you there on Ben Wallace. Another guy I'm gonna go with. It says Basketball Hall of Fame, not NBA. Stephon Marbury needs to be in the Hall of Fame, and he needs to be in there right now. Not only what he did in the NBA, but also what he did in China as well, and the legacy that he created there. And also, he was a 20-8 guy.
Yes, sir.
20-point, 8 assist guy here in the NBA, multi-time All-Star. If you put him in today's league, he's a 30-point scorer. That's what type of buckets he giving. So I definitely putting Stephon Marbury in there. And a guy that I'm gonna put in there, I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna take it back a little bit. Marcus Johnson, the original point forward for the Milwaukee Bucks back in the 80s. This is a 5-time All-Star. He was actually an All-NBA first teamer before. A 2-time All-NBA second teamer. And there's something to be said about being the original or something. And I just think him starting that whole point forward position, I think he's a snub as well.
That's a very good take, and I agree with what you said there, Mr. Cam. All right, Chris Brown, what you got, baby?
Yeah, I kind of created a whole starting five because there are a lot of people snubbed. So,
You're
my
right.
guard,
It was hard to choose.
I got Chauncey Billups. I mean, Big Shot Bob. That's his name for a reason. One of the best shooters of all time in the era, early 2000s, even 2010s, he was dominant. He was dominant on defensive end. He could score. He get people involved. He was a big body dude, was a beast. What he did with the Pistons, came over with the Nuggets. Him and Carmelo didn't able to get over the hump. But Chauncey Billups, he has a Hall of Fame career. Then I have Mark Price, a dominant guard in the 80s, early 90s with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Never was able to get over the hump. In those 80s and 90s, you had the Bulls, you had the Celtics, you had the Pistons. When you talking about 50, 40, 90, 50% from the field, 40% from the three-point line, 90% from the free throw line, that's pure dominant. You put him in, you look at guys like Steve Nash, he's in that type of element, just wasn't able to get all the accolades Steve Nash got. Then I have Tim Hardaway, one of the innovators of the crossover, a pure bucket. This guy was 17-8, his career averages, but in his prime, he was about 21-9, running with TMC. This dude was a beast. His son's out here killing it, but his son doesn't even compare to how good the senior was. Then I have Shawn Marion. You want to talk about the guys, everybody thinks Draymond Green is so talented, can guard every position. They don't know about Shawn Marion. They don't know about a guy 6'7", having to be able to guard power forwards in the early 2000s when that was the best position in basketball. Wasn't even close. Shawn Marion was the guy that can get you 20, then get you 10, then get you 5 steals, then get you blocks, that can knock down threes. He has some of the best stats in his position. What he did for the game, he helped evolutionize it. Like right now, he is a $300 million man because he can guard every single position. He can score and can do everything. Then my big man, I think we all can agree, Chris Webber. He has all the accolades. In the 90s and the 2000s, the best position was the power forward. You had all the great power forwards, and he was dominating all of them in his prime. He was doing what he had to do. He was getting buckets. He led that Sacramento Kings team to the playoffs. If it was not for some crooked referees, they would have and should have beat the Lakers, I believe, in 2002 and went on to the championship. That Sacramento Kings team was dominant, and he was the reason why. He tore his ACL a couple years later, and the end of his career, didn't turn out how it should have been. But Chris Webber is a beast. I don't understand why he's not in the Hall of Fame right now. You look at his stats compared to the power forwards in his era, they're all the same. They're all the same, especially when they were playing. He dominated his position for a long period of time. He has all the accolades, like I said. That's my starting five. I could have gave a bench too, to be honest with you.
Hey, I like what Brandon Herrera said about Robert Horry. I think Big Shot Bob, man, look at all the teams he's been a part of and how he's been so successful. He was successful with the Rockets and got championships there. Then he went to L.A. and got multiple championships there. And let me tell you something. They counted on that man's three ball quite heavily back in those L.A. days and even in those Houston days. Heavily. I mean, that was almost like your X factor right there. Always that, because you're going to have Shaq, you're going to have Kobe. But, man, Big Shot Bob was always that X factor when you needed to drain that major three ball. Man, that guy was automatic, man. That guy never missed. I think Robert, and I don't know if he hasn't had enough time out of basketball to get in there yet, but I definitely
way more than enough time.
I gotta agree with you. Robert Horry should definitely be in the Hall of Fame at some point.
But I got a question about that. I got a big question about that. So, like, I understand he has some big shots and everything, but are we just basing it off of he has some big shots in the
his whole career was good like that. If you ever watched Robert Horry play, he wasn't just big shots.
I know about his career,
rebounds.
But outside of the Houston Rockets, he never had a big role in any of those teams, is what I'm saying.
He never had a big role in LA? I suggest you go back and watch those tapes.
I'm telling you, he didn't have the biggest role. Like I'm talking about
the biggest role when a guy like by the name of Shaq is on your team and a guy by the name of Kobe is on your team. Come on, that's unrealistic to think that. But a significant part in that team, like significant part, is absolutely ludicrous. Go ahead, Freddie.
Without Robert Horry, the Lakers would not have won that championship. We have to remember who knocked down the shot. It wasn't Kobe. It wasn't Shaq. Robert Horry, was that fire piece off the Lakers bench, and that dude was a stone killer, man. Like Jay said, like I said, without him, I don't think we've won that championship.
We'll move on to the next. Oh, did I give you Coach Cam? Did I get you already? Or do
Nah,
I need to go? Coach Cam, go ahead.
No, you good. You good. You good.
Okay, man. I want to make sure, man. The last go around, I kind of missed you a couple of times. Hey, all right. Next topic is December 22nd start too early? That's a good question. I'll be honest with you. If they're starting back up December 22nd, I don't know why they're not going back to the bubble because nothing's changed since they were in the dang bubble. So I don't know what other scenario they think they're going to be successful at because, like football, you can't keep these people in their houses 24/7. You can't keep them sequestered 24/7. They're like kids. You got to corral them, put them in a situation where they can't go nowhere, and that's how you keep a COVID-free environment. But I don't understand. I mean, they're going to have to go back to the bubble if they want to have a longevity season. What do you guys think? Go ahead, Chris Brown. We're going to go in reverse order this go around.
It's not even, the reports I've been seeing with it starting too early. It's not even a lot to do with COVID. It's the fact that you look at the Lakers and then you look at the Miami Heat. They just played their last game was early October. And then you tell them to hurry up and start right back in 2 months. So, but then again, you look at other teams that weren't in the bubble and even the teams that had early exodus and they were out there in August. So, for them, it's kind of a good start. And, teams like, that, like I said, we're in a bubble. It's a good start. But teams like the Heat and the Lakers that just got done playing, that's 2 months of a rest. So, is it an early start? It depends how you look at it. You can say it is, but I don't think they want to miss that Christmas game. But when you look at those two teams, you got to say, man, how much time do you have to rest? And you got to think about the rookies that are being drafted November 18th, and the season is starting a month later. You don't have no summer league. You don't have no rookie camp. You don't have none of those things. So it's going to be, take longer for these rookies to adjust. So, the league, I'm pretty sure the NBA is going to figure out the right thing to do because, it's the NBA. But looking at it right now, there's a lot of question marks with it starting December 22nd.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And there's no way Braun, he's an older guy, man. There's no way he's going to be ready to go and not get hurt if they try to go back that soon. His body hasn't had enough time to rest and recalibrate. But go ahead, Coach Cam, what you got, baby?
Selfishly, I want basketball on Christmas. Like I said, it's nothing like having, 4 or 5 games on throughout the day on Christmas Day. But however, December 22nd is pretty early. It's pretty early, especially to ask a veteran Lakers team to have all those older guys to turn around and play within 2 months. That's just tough. And if you do bring them back, you're going to see a lot of veterans not starting off playing. You're going to see them out for about maybe 2 weeks to a month into the season. And now that's the question of, do you actually want to bring the NBA back if not everybody's playing? So there you have that question. And, NBA players have the most power. So if they come out and say, we ain't playing and we don't feel like it's good, they're not going to play. And it's that simple.
Yeah, that's a very good point. All right, big Freddie, what you got?
All right, listen here, y'all. It's two sides of the story, Yes, we all agree it's too soon. We understand that. We understand it's 2 months is not a lot of time. But the NBA is looking at they want to start the season where it will not interfere with the Olympics in the summertime. They don't want to interfere with the NFL with the preseason because they don't want to interfere with ratings because ratings have been down. Okay, so players they got to understand. This is a sacrifice. They didn't want to sacrifice their money because that's the real reason why they went to the bubble. They all understood that they did not want to lose. I forgot the dollar amount they said. I was watching ESPN. I forgot the dollar sign that they said, but they was in jeopardy of losing money, and they did not want to lose money. So if they start in January, there's a number like $600 million that's going to be at stake to lose. So if you didn't want to lose it then, why would you want to lose it now? And two, they had 4 months off before this. They was off 4 months due to COVID-19. So at the end of the day, it sure do beat them going to a 9 to 5. I can tell you that they get paid millions of dollars. We understand they're sacrificing what they're risking, But at the end of the day, it is a job. They get paid millions of dollars to do it. And the goal is, if you want to be successful, keep the ratings there. You don't want to interfere with the Olympics. You don't want to interfere with the preseason. So, and I expect that if the season starts December 22nd, whatever game the Lakers play, I expect LeBron James to be in the Staples Center to receive that ring, and I expect him to play. And I'm pretty sure he will. He's not going to miss out on that. I guarantee you that.
I also expect him to be out with that about the first month and a half when he tears something or screws something up because he didn't have enough time to rest it. And then he's going to miss the rest of the season. And then you're going to cry, Freddie. You're going to cry immersively. You may go into the bathroom stall at your job, curl up in the fetal position, stall number 3, and cry.
Nah, I won't cry, but
Be like, who's this guy in stall 3 crying about LeBron James going down with a knee injury? And it's going to be like, that's our best salesman, Freddie. Leave him alone. He's in pain. Moving on to the next. Oh, hey, we got a T-shirt ad. Let's talk about some T-shirts. Get your free, or get. Excuse me. No, this is the one where you can buy a T-shirt on the website for $25 plus shipping and handling. Again, get your ASAP Network T-shirt today. Go to the website, and you only pay $25 and shipping and handling. It's a good shirt, nice quality, and I don't even want. On to the next subject, Big Freddie. So, what would be the biggest surprise in the NBA draft? Man, I think the biggest surprise is what Minnesota does with this pick. Me personally, I still think they should. I think they need a few players, but I think they're going to wind up taking LaMelo, even though I would like to see them trade out of that pick and get a few picks out of it. But what do you think, Freddie?
Like you said, there's a lot of question marks, with the season. If the season started December 22nd, that means I believe the draft is November the 18th, I believe. The question is how many times, how often can these teams work out these players? How often can these teams see these players? It's going to be different. It's not like it used to be where, it happened in the summertime. So will that cause for a lot of teams to trade those picks to get a already proven player because they might be worried of a situation like that might, that player might not be ready, or that player you might not be as talented as they thought. I don't know. I mean, there's going to be a lot of. I think it's going to be a lot of thought process with these GMs and with these teams. Like, hey, we don't know if this dude ready. We haven't been able to work him out like we wanted to. So, will Minnesota, draft ball? We don't know. We shall see. And if you're a veteran team like Golden State, like Jay McLevin mentioned it all the time, they can be thinking, you know what, we can't really work out players like we normally did. Maybe we want to trade that for a potential star, a pretty all-star in the game already in the making.
Absolutely. And here's the biggest question: is if let's say if Minnesota goes for LaMelo, which it looks like they're going to most likely. I mean, it's not a guarantee, but it looks like they're probably going to go that direction since they're meeting with him. Do you think it's almost a fact that Golden State would draft Wiseman? I apologize. I'm saying Bazemore. Wiseman. Coach Cam, what you think?
Yes. If Golden State holds on to that number 2 pick, it would be very smart for them to get James Wiseman, someone that could run rim to rim, be able to protect the rim, be able to catch lobs, finish, do what fits him best early on while the rest of his skills develop. It'll be a perfect situation for him, for Wiseman at 2. However, I got the biggest surprise. And I'm going out on a limb here, is that the number 1 pick will not be LaMelo Ball. It won't even be Anthony Edwards.
I think I know anybody go.
Denny Avdija.
Oh, Lord.
The small forward from overseas may be the number 1 pick in this draft. I'm not saying I would do it.
They like him. A lot of people
like him. They like him. A lot of people like him. And you know what? And people are starting to draft, these Euro stars higher and higher, especially once you see Luka come over and has the impact he has. So just look out for that. It doesn't have to be LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, Chris Brown. Oh, hey, we'll go address this Herrera question. What do you? Matter of fact, Chris Brown, I'm gonna let you address it. I personally think there will be a lot of free agent movement going on between the draft. What do you think, Chris?
There's going to be so much free agent movement happening this all season. You just have to have your notifications on. Follow the right people. Follow us because we'll be tweeting out, Facebooking out every single thing that happens. There's going to be so much free agent movement. It's out of this world. But to answer this question, I got a couple crazy things that's going to happen. Brandon Herrera, I know that you're a Timberwolves fan, so I'm going to tell you this. Don't be surprised if you trade that number 1 pick for Devin Booker. That Devin Booker will have a great impact with the Timberwolves. They all want to play with each other. But if you look at the Suns, I mean, if Devin Booker is going to leave, why not trade him now for a number 1 pick? Then you have a number 1 and number 10 pick to do whatever you want to do, draft whoever want to draft. So, let's say they don't draft LaMelo with that number 1 pick. Let's say they go Anthony Edwards because they can get Cole Anthony number 10. Then at number 2, to shock the world, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, I think they should get James Wiseman. But what if the Golden State Warriors know they can sign a good big man and they draft LaMelo Ball to come off the bench and be that James Harden like he was with the Thunder, be that Manu Ginobili like he was with the Spurs for right now. And then when Steph gets a little older or when Clay gets a little older, he takes over in Golden State. He has a nice team around him. Him and Andrew Wiggins are the 2 young guys. You got Eric Paschall. And last thing, listen, you can say I'm a homer, but it is what it is. We just went and got Daryl Morey. We get in a great coaching staff. The Sixers have 5 draft picks this draft, 4 in the second round, 1 in the first round. I would not be surprised with aggressive GM, with aggressive coaching staff now, if the Sixers move around a lot of those picks. And we got 2 players that are big contracts that might be getting traded away, and Al Horford and Tobias Harris. Don't be surprised if the Sixers make a move to get a Bradley Beal, a Drew Holiday, even a Zach LaVine maybe. We have a lot of picks, and we have 2 quality players that a lot of teams could use. So I'm just saying, don't be surprised if the Sixers make some trades.
Well, you got 2 quality players if they stay healthy. Ben Simmons and Embiid. Sometimes
they're not getting traded. They're not getting traded. Those guys aren't getting traded. It's a fact.
I'm going to go to Freddie first, and then Coach Cam, I got you too. Freddie, go ahead.
I started to text Chris and ask him this question, but since he brought up Philly, I'm going to ask him on the show. Mm-hmm. This was not reported, by the way. This is nothing, that's being talked about. This was just a idea thrown out there. Mm-hmm. I was watching First Take this morning, and Stephen A. said, what if with Daryl Morey with Philadelphia, so you know what? I got to get James Harden over here. We trade Ben Simmons to Houston to get James Harden. Do you think that he could turn y'all around and take y'all to the promised land? And do you think that's a good move?
It's a terrible move. Nothing against James Harden, but our team is young. He's not a defensive player. Ben Simmons is the defensive leader. Ben Simmons is for this team. He can't guard 1 through 5 like Ben Simmons can. I love James Harden, but that's not the move we need to make to improve this team. Nothing against him.
And not even to mention, do you really think that Houston's going to give up Harden for Ben Simmons? They're going to take more than just that.
Yeah,
they'd have to put Ben Simmons in a pick or something.
They're going to want Ben Simmons. Bro, I saw the trade scenario. They wanted Ben Simmons. Too many players for James Harden. Not saying James Harden is bad, but for the Sixers, it doesn't add up for both teams.
They're going to want too much. It's going to take more than just Ben Simmons.
Yes, it's going to take picks and like 2 more players. And then the Houston Rockets going to throw in some players.
Well, you got to realize this. James Harden has 2 years left on his contract. And next year, and him and his new coach, they got to have the best relationship. Because if not, James Harden's going to be dictating.
That new coach is a guard coach.
Hold on. Do you think Paul Silas is going to work out well with Westbrook and Harden? I mean, how do you think? I think he will personally.
Steven Silas would be cool.
I think so. We heard Luka during the year, talk about this guy. The reason why, he had the big jump up in the season was because of him.
All right. Okay. Yeah, what you got, baby?
Nah, Chris, you was just talking about possibly Minnesota trade that number 1 pick for Booker.
Yes.
Right. I understand everybody's so excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. You put in 3 losers on a team. They still don't know how to win. That is big in the NBA.
You're right.
I don't care how I've seen stuff like this where you put 3 talented players together who don't know how to win, who haven't won. You just don't magically win.
Can I answer that when you're done?
Yeah, you go ahead. For me, it's just not a big deal.
Answer, and then we got to go on, fellas.
You're
And
right,
it's the
but
Timberwolves.
you look at exactly. You look at their organization. The Timberwolves have been a bad organization. You look at D'Angelo Russell. He's drafted to the Lakers, a losing situation. Traded to the Nets, got them to the playoffs. Went to the Warriors. He was there as a rental. You look at Devin Booker. That Suns organization never wanted that team to succeed. They bring a different coach after different coach and tell them they have to shoot a whole bunch of threes with no 3-point shooters. They always in a lottery and they always mess up. So given that they never had a chance to win, you bring them together. There are three guys that want to win, that have the skill set and attitude to win. I think it'll work. And, I think there's something the NBA gets away of. You need veterans. If you get them some good vets, because like you said, but I did see some players that never really won that came together and started winning. You add vets to these young guys, these young studs, and they can do something.
Depending on what, I know you got to move on, but depending on what vets, because Jimmy Butler was there and said they were some clowns pretty much.
I think y'all start learning the rules. We got to move on now, please. Next subject. Thoughts on the NBA keeping the play-in tournament. I don't know about you guys, but I actually really loved the whole play-in tournament. I think it gives number 9 chance, an option to get back into the race and really battle it out. And I absolutely love that play-in tournament. What do you think about that, Coach Cam?
Nah. I ain't feeling it. That was cool for the bubble. How watered down are we gonna make these playoffs? Because first we already invited 16 out of 30. So now we're gonna expand it to basically play-in is just an extra part of the playoffs. So now we're gonna expand it to 18 out of 30. Come on, at some point we gotta hold up and say stop. I don't want to see no 29 win teams possibly in the East fighting for a 9 seed to try to get in the no. So the answer is simply no. I don't want to see it.
The Astros were 29, and I forget what it was. They had a losing record.
29 and 31. They was
and they wound up almost making it to the World Series. My point is this: it can happen. Anything can happen, and any given Sunday, anything can happen. So you may have that team at first, but that could wind up being your winner. You never know.
I know NBA just got too many bad teams.
What you got, Chris Brown?
It was nice for the bubble. It was exciting because they had to bring some excitement back. But you look at it going into, the whole regular NBA season. Well, for starters, let's look at how it affects the number 1 seed. Every other seed knows who they're playing in advance so they can get to prepare. That number 1 seed has to wait until these two teams play each other, then have a day or two to be able to prepare for that team. And then, like Coach Cam said, it's all about matchups in the NBA. A number 9 seed can match up well against that 8 seed, but be terrible against that first seed, whereas that whoever the original 8 seed was can match up great with that first seed. So I personally don't like it. I think it's taking too much away. Like Cam said, I don't want to see a bad team in the playoffs. Whoever's the number 8 squad deserves to be in there. The number 9 squad just get better. Point blank, period.
All right, Big Freddie, what you think?
I like it and I don't like it. I'm on both sides, because I'm in the bubble. It was exciting, to see the the two teams going back and at it. Grizzly and Portland, they was going. John Moran and Dame Lillard was going back and forth. But then again, like Chris said, when you're like a team like the Lakers and you're preparing to play, that 8th seed. Your mind is on that 8 seed. You're already preparing for the 8 seed, but you have to wait. A little bit longer and, figure out who you're playing. So, it does, disturbs, a lot of stuff going on. And like Coach Cam said, it's already a 50% chance you're already going to the playoffs. So, just play good in the season, handle your business, and you don't have to worry about it. So, I'm 50-50 on it. They can, either or, but yeah, we all agree.
All right. Time for another T-shirt ad. What T-shirt have we got today? All right, ladies and gentlemen. As we had said earlier at the beginning of this show, if you like, share, comment, follow, all that craziness to get ourselves out to the masses, and you're the biggest one for the month, we're going to send you a free ASAP T-shirt. So please like, share, do all that fun stuff, and we'll definitely send you a free T-shirt.
Hey, Jay McLevin, you don't have a T-shirt, but guess what? I don't even have a T-shirt neither. Chris, do you have one?
No, sir.
Man, I wish I could be a fan or viewer, man, to go do this, get a T-shirt.
I might make my own ASAP T-shirt. That's how cheap I am right now, honestly. See if I'm going to make my own T-shirt. All right, time to get into some football. All right, y'all ready for this? Eagles and Cowboys. You know, any other day, if the Cowboys were playing at the typical Cowboys level, this would be a mop-up game. And I'd be happy right now. But it's not a typical day. We got Ben freaking DiNucci. Say that name, DiNucci. Yeah, and that's what we're going to go with that. Since the Eagles is Chris Brown's team, I'm going to let him start it off. Chris Brown, what you got?
I will have to admit, I would have loved to see this game if both sides was fully healthy. Now, I will say this, both sides have injuries, so when the Cowboys lose, I don't want to hear, well, my starting quarterback and this, that, and the third, because my team is fully injured too. We went
No,
against.
that's not true. You actually have Carson Wentz, and that's better than Ben freaking DiNucci.
You have all your receivers.
Please don't minimize that.
All your
Don't minimize
receivers.
that, Shaggy dude.
It's your turn. Hold your finger.
You'll have all your receivers and running back. You look at last game and the game before that. It's not my fault that Andy Dalton couldn't get it done. But, man, I would have loved to see these teams fully healthy. But, you know, with the injuries that the Cowboys have on the offensive side, we don't know about Ben DiNucci. You look at the Eagles, we're top 3 when it comes to sacks. We're creating turnovers. Some of our players, especially on the offensive side, are coming back healthy. Supposedly this game, the Eagles are going to win this game. It's sad that we're not going to be able to see a healthy game because there's going to be a lot of excuses from Cowboys fans. Not pointing fingers at you, Jay, but I got a lot of friends and family that are Cowboys fans who this is directed to because they know they're going to have excuses when they're texting me saying why they lost. Now, listen, yeah, I said that. If we lose, I'm not popping up on the show, Brandon Herrera, so you're going to not see me on Monday. Remember that. But listen, the Eagles are going to win this game. The Eagles are the best team in the division. They were the best team in the division when the season started, and we're just going to prove it this game.
Hey, Brendan Herrera, I don't remember what it was that he said. But throw what he said in the comments so we can refresh our brains. Shaggy dude, you know I said already that the coaching is probably the biggest problem with the Cowboys. The second problem is their injuries. But look, we're just terrible right now from all ends of the spectrum. But we're going to move on. Coach Cam, what you got, baby?
Man, this normally this is a good NFC East game. However, with the injuries, it's kind of took a lot out of it. But I got the Eagles, man. Unfortunately, there for you, Jay. I can't pick Ben DiNucci. I can't put my money on him at all. But plus, they don't believe in Mike McCarthy. At this point, it seems like they're trying to get him out with their play. And they're just not doing assignments. It's as simple as that. It's on film. It's blatant as day. I think Eagles win relatively easy.
And you know what? And to your coach, and really to your point and Chris's point, this goes back to the analytical side, right? And the fact that McCarthy is not an analytical guy. So, I think they need like a Lincoln Riley or another young type of coach, like a Sean McVay type of guy, or even a Josh McDaniels, somebody who's innovative and with the times to pull this team together and pull them out of this funk that they're stuck in. Freddie Henderson, go ahead, brother.
Jay McLevin, I want to correct you on something. Who did you say was the biggest problem with the Cowboys?
No, it's their coaching.
No, it's not their coaching. Let's be honest. It's the owner, it's the GM. Because guess what? He put the coaching in place. He put the players in place. He put the system. He put all of it in place. He hired his coach, hired a guy. I mean, I don't know if we thought about this on show. It's just funny. I thought next thing y'all see somebody sent it in our group chat, and I read it. I didn't believe it was real until I actually seen all the breaking news. Their defensive coach was on a call or a show or something, and he ain't hot sauce in his eyes. I mean, that's just funny. That's just a Cowboy.
I feel you. Hey, and that's my point, man. Hey, we got to go back to the basics of having just good fundamentals. And I think Mike Nolan, just like McCarthy, it just seems like what they're doing is they're not relevant with the players. They don't have the players buy-in. And if you're not relevant with the players, and if you don't have their buy-in, you're just not going anywhere. And like they said, I don't know if they're unprepared or not. The players seem to feel that way, and they certainly seem to look that way. So I'm going to go with it. If it looks like a cow and it smells like a cow, probably a damn cow. Anyway.
With that being said, I didn't choose my pick. You hold on now. With that being said,
you already had your spiel because you sat there and talked for a hot minute. But go ahead, I'll come back to you.
With that being said, I picked the Eagles to beat the Cowboys when they was healthy with Dakota Prescott. But now that it got, how you say his name? Dabucci. I ain't even say his name. Oh, Carson Wentz going to have a field day. Chris, if you have Carson Wentz on fantasy football, start him. Because he's about to eat that secondary. He can have rookie wide receivers out there, my friend. He's about to eat them up. I mean, this dude is about to go off. This game should not even be close. It should be over before halftime comes. It should not be close. I promise you. The Cowboys stink. They're awful on the offensive side and on the defensive side. It's just too fun.
It's true, Freddie. You know what? For once in my life, I actually kind of agree with you. But then again, from one loser team to this loser team, I guess you wouldn't know what a loser team looks like and can relate. So I see that where you're coming from with the Giants.
My Packers fine.
We move on. New York Packer. Next topic. Ravens versus the Steelers. Now, this is going to be a really good game. This is going to be a good game. I personally have the Steelers in this game just because Ben's riding the hot wave right now, and they have a pretty decent defense, and I don't know how Lamar Jackson's going to come out and play. I'm going with the Steelers on this game just for that reason. I think Ben's going to come out and do his thing. What do you think there, Freddie?
Did you say Ben is on a hot wave? I mean, Ben.
No. I'm talking about Lamar Jackson. I think the Steelers defense. What I meant was the Steelers defense is going to cool him off.
Okay, man. What I'm gonna be looking forward with this game is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson. It's time to get it done, man. It's time to show us why you're that MVP. Why are you ready to dethrone the Chiefs? I mean, you're playing against more than likely the best defense in football on Sunday. You're not going to be able to run much on this defense, so you're going to have to get it done with the arm. I'm pulling for him. I want to see Lamar Jackson get it done. I want to see Baltimore win because I believe in Jackson. I'm not for sure if Dez will play this Sunday or the next Sunday, but I definitely want the Baltimore to win. And he has to get it done with his arm to beat this team.
Oh, and by the way, I did say that if Lamar Jackson wants to be considered in the top 5 conversation, he has to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers to really solidify himself in that conversation. Go ahead, Coach Cam. What you got?
I don't think he has to win to be solidified in the top 5. However, I got the Ravens winning this matchup. I think Steelers last week was very vulnerable in the second half against the Titans, and I think it showed a little chink in their armor there. You can run on them if you're really physical up front, which the Ravens do have a very physical offensive line. I think they control the line of scrimmage, and I think Lamar kind of gets back to his somewhat backyard football type of game where he makes some explosive plays and enough plays to win the game. So I got Baltimore winning a close one in the AFC North physical matchup.
So you're saying if let's say hypothetically, let's say Lamar has a subpar game against the Steelers, you think he still belongs in the top 5?
Yes.
That's absolutely ridiculous. But
he was just a
that's ridiculous. MVP, that's all. You're ridiculous.
Are you talking about top 5 this season? Wait,
that's absolutely a ridiculous statement. If you can't go up against the good teams and beat them, then you shouldn't be there. And if you have a subpar game against a good defense, you shouldn't be there. The top 5, you can't water it down. And I feel like we water it down because the name looks sexy to us.
Are you talking about top 5 this season or top 5 overall?
I'm talking about top 5 for this season.
Oh, then
we're talking about top 5 right now. Like, who's the top 5 for this season, right? If we're talking about top 5 overall, Ben still has a lot more on him. I get that. But top 5 for this season. I'm just talking about this season only. There's no way. If he don't beat the Steelers, he don't belong in that conversation.
It's just
Tannehill lost, so why is he allowed in the conversation?
Tannehill lost because of a field goal, guy.
A loss is a loss.
I get it. No, but what did you hear what I said in the beginning? You probably missed that part. I said specifically, if he has a subpar season, if Lamar Jackson has a subpar game against the Steelers, I'm talking about Lamar Jackson's efforts, not the team. You can lose and throw a hell of a game. You know what I'm saying? Because your defense could cost you, right? You can still throw great. So if he has a subpar game against the Steelers defense, I don't see how you put him in the top 5 conversation. I just don't get it.
I'm gonna be honest. He might not even be in the top 5 because there are a whole bunch of quarterbacks with winning records doing their thing that are not named Ryan Tannehill, that are not named Lamar. But to answer this question about this game, this is going to be the best game on Sunday. It's not even close. Both teams have great defenses. So both offenses are going to have to get it done. You look at the Ravens; they just added another pass rusher. To be able to beat the Steelers, you have to get after Big Ben. You get after Big Ben, you're going to win a game because he's going to start. He might start throwing turnovers. That running game, the Ravens also have a good run defense. So if you stop that running game, and you can stop Claypool, you have Juju, and the Steelers like to run some gimmick plays. So it's going to remind me of them old games when you had Ray Lewis, Palomalu, Ed Reed, Hines Ward, just a whole bunch of hard hitters. A rough game coming down to the fourth quarter. But the Steelers haven't played. The Steelers haven't played a team like the Ravens just yet. They haven't played a team that has a quarterback that is mobile as well. Yes, they've been able to stop running backs, but can they account for the mobility of Lamar Jackson? Can they account for the ability of the dual threat quarterback? I don't know yet. So my pick is the Ravens in a close fourth-quarter battle.
You got about 10 seconds, Freddie.
It's just a question to the three of you guys. Do you all agree that Lamar Jackson is going to have to get it done with his arm though?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. At some point, you got to be. If you're a quarterback, you have to get it done with your arm. You can't run every damn thing. I don't know. What do you think, Coach Cam?
Well, yeah, he's gonna have to make some throws. He's gonna have to make some throws to win the game. But I'm just telling you how it is when them Steelers and Ravens get together, especially when they now have Lamar Jackson. It's gonna be a physical matchup where they're gonna keep that ball on the ground. I'm telling you, it's gonna be one of those type football games. But yeah, he's got to make a couple throws. You always got to make a couple.
And Chris Brown, you got about 5 seconds. Let's go. What you got?
You got to make throws to win games. He don't have to throw, but he's going to have to make some throws.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go on to the next topic, Big Fred. Why are the Bengals trading away all the players, all their good players? Why does every good player want to get traded from the Bengals? I personally think they want to get traded from the Bengals because they're tired of losing and they want to go to a winning team. And maybe they don't believe in ownership and they don't believe in the strategy that the Bengals are implementing to get themselves out of purgatory.
Hey, before we let Coach go, we want to put him on the big screen. I think it's only appropriate that we put him on the big screen.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that, Freddie. I appreciate that. Now,
hold on a minute. No, take that off because I didn't call on him. Take that off there.
You got to call on me.
I don't. You don't run this show, Dave. You don't run this show. You shut your mouth till I call on you. Chris Brown, you go.
I defer to Cam. We always go to who teams it is, and it's his team, so he go first.
I don't give a dang.
That's the set rule.
No, you know what? No. I'll go last. As a matter of fact, I want to go last. Go ahead. I want to go last.
You trying to run my show, Freddie? You're going to go first, and then Coach Cam. This is my show.
I
ain't that weak moderator. I'm the moderator. I'm picking out.
Yeah, but I want, like Chris said, I'm gonna Coach you go.
All right,
okay. Say a freaking word. You like I ain't got a mute button.
All right, man. It's not that every good player wants to be traded from the Bengals. All right. The thing is that Zach Taylor is trash. The problem is Dunlap, AJ Green, Geno, those three. They seen what winning was like with Marvin Lewis. They seen where we made the 5 straight playoffs appearances, where we averaged 10 wins a year. So they know they're looking at this and seeing that it's garbage. Like Zach Taylor is not a leader of men. He doesn't approach them as men and tell them they're being demoted, this week. And as veterans like Dunlap, who's been there 10 years, he deserves that. He deserves to be talked to and say, hey, this is what we're doing. This is our plan. So it's not because AJ really don't want to be traded. He came out again and said he wants to be a Bengal for the rest of his career. So it's not that. It's just that the way things are with the coaching staff, they know they don't have a chance, and he's alienating all of the veterans that Marvin Lewis, all the holdovers from Marvin Lewis. That's what's going on. But if you recognize all the young guys are buying into what Zach Taylor is saying, so we'll see.
Oh, you can
Boom.
just do whoever wants to go, just go. I'm not even calling no names no more. Just go. Because y'all don't listen to me anyway. Just go.
All right, Chris.
Yeah, it's up there. It's coaching staff, the organization. They went from being able to win, being able to go to multiple playoffs, to now they're in a losing streak. But these veterans aren't getting treated right. When you have veterans that are part of a team for a long period of time, it's only right if you go into a quote unquote rebuilding mode that they get treated with a proper amount of respect. They get talked to because listen, the veterans are why this team, tried to establish some type of culture there. So you just can't disrespect him. So I'm not mad at him for wanting to leave. I want to be mad if other veterans want to leave, and this team just goes fully young until they find a new head coach and fix everything in that organization. When you have veterans, you have to treat them with respect. So if AJ Green wants to come to Philly, come on, AJ, we'll take it. Same thing
I
with Aaron Ross.
knew that was about something.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, this the Bengals for. I mean, you started with your young quarterback. You have to get a new coach. I mean, the veterans want to be on a winning situation. They're not trying to be on a rebuild. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, they have to get the job done.
I mean, I mean, it's tough because to be honest, Zach Taylor's going to hang around another year just because of the success Burrow is having, and they have to go hand in hand. And because you don't want to have a second-year quarterback on
With
a
a new
second
coach.
system with a new coach, so Zach Taylor's going to have to keep his job. However, he's going to have to go. I mean, Mike Brown or whoever is going to have to go to Zach Taylor and say, "Look, I need the DC fired. Like, DC has got to go.
He's
Period."
that bad?
He's that bad. He's that you play you gotta go. The team gotta go 75 yards, and you in press man coverage with a
Oh
minute
man.
left, and they don't have no timeouts. You ain't gonna keep everything in front of you and tackle them in bounds and let time keep going. Nah, man, I'm out. I'm out on the DC.
I feel for you. I feel for you. I feel.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm sorry, McLovin.
Can
All
Tom
right.
Brady win MVP this year? Go ahead. Whoever wants to go.
I'll take it. I do believe Tom Brady can definitely win MVP this year. You look at his stats right now; he's balling. He's balling. He has the weapon. Scotty Miller is becoming that Julian Edelman, that Wes Walker for him. Mike Evans, you can say his targets are down, but I do think he's going to have a big role coming in, especially towards the postseason. Going into the postseason, he's going to be that big Randy Moss type of receiver that can just go up and go get it. Chris Godwin, he's battling some injury problems, but I do believe when he's healthy and he returns healthy towards that last stretch of the season, his numbers are going to go and improve. Rob Gronkowski, he's showing that, hey, I'm still here. I'm still one of the best tight ends. I just need my body to rest because I was taking some crazy hits. And they're about to get Antonio Brown, ladies and gentlemen. They're about to get a receiver that's automatically going to be the number one. And he might not get 10 targets a game because of how dynamic this offense is. He might get 7. He might get 6. But one, he's an end zone threat. One, he's going to be a guy that can dominate on third downs, and him and TB already have a great relationship, so they can just play pitch and catch, throughout the most of the game, especially in clutch time. Tom Brady has a lot of weapons right now. This might be the most weapons he has since he had that crazy year when they won undefeated in the regular season. I will not be surprised if Tom Brady, right now I know Russell Wilson was the favorite, but Tom Brady this second half of the season is about to take off, ladies and gentlemen. You ready to hear it first?
Go ahead, Cam.
Uh, no, can he win? Yes, he can win. Just because he's getting some momentum, he's definitely gaining that momentum. To get the MVP, especially when you get a signing like Antonio Brown, it just seems like they're like NFL's favorite right now, and they're just picking up momentum. And he's playing well, man. He's playing well, and also they're starting to learn each other. You got to think they just came together. It's COVID season, obviously. So they're just now getting the feel for each other, really. And they're going to be dangerous as, November and December come. And you get in Tom Brady in Tampa where he's at home. I mean, he's in warm weather now,
Warm weather.
in the NFC South where it's mostly, warm or dome teams or it's warm weather. So I'm liking their chances. I'm liking his chances for MVP.
Yeah.
Brandon Herrera says, which team has had the most disappointing draft picks, the Lions or the Bengals? Man, that's a toss-up, man. In my personal opinion, I think they're about even. What you got, Freddie?
Yeah. Are we answering that question about Brandon Herrera?
Yeah.
I mean, they both. I mean, it's a toss up of both of them. Both of them been disappointments, and how many years in a row they've been a disappointment to both of them. I'm not gonna say the Bengals been disappointed because they got Burrow. I mean, when you get a talented quarterback like him, it makes up for a lot of it. I'm gonna say maybe the Lions just because they haven't been relevant in years. Yeah, that's just my take right there.
That's a tough one, man, because they both drafted, they low key both drafted some studs. But then they have a lot of bum. I don't want to call them bums because they made it to that level. Guys that didn't pan out. So if you had to ask me, I'll probably lean toward a little bit more towards the Lions because they haven't won in a while.
I mean, my take on the Tom Brady deal is, the dude is 43 years old, 43, and still playing elite football. I mean, that's just crazy. That is just crazy. I mean, he still have I'm gonna just round it up: 2,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I mean, and the dude, he's just 43 years old. Go to a new team at that. I mean, normally when you get that old, you want to stay in the same situation. No, he ups and leaves. Go to a new situation. Yes, he has more weapons. Yes, he have a defense. And he just got Antonio Brown. It's going to get even better. Oh, my. Woo. My. We shall see.
All right. What's the next topic we got on the floor, Freddie? Actually, I take that back. Is Troy Aikman overrated? I don't think he's overrated by any means. I mean, he's a 3-time Super Bowl champion, 6-time Pro Bowler. Walton Plater, NFL Man of the Year, Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor. I mean, come on, you don't get the Ring of Honor unless you've done something to deserve it. I mean, it goes on, right? He's a finalist in the Heisman's. I mean, come on, man. The man threw for well over 32,000 yards. I mean, no, he ain't overrated. I don't want to say he's the best quarterback in the league, but he sure as hell ain't overrated. What you got, Freddie?
I mean, let's just be. I agree with you, but to say, he was in the Cowboys Ring of Hall of Fame. I mean, come on. I mean, it's the Cowboys. They created their own little Hall of Fame. I mean, stop it.
Stop it.
Yeah, stop
it. You gonna tell me the Cowboys Ring of Honor and they only got 6 championships? You gonna tell me that Ring of Honor don't mean something? Maybe. Okay, it doesn't matter. 5. Maybe that counts in the Giants world. Sure as hell don't count in the Cowboys world. Man, that's ridiculous. You even say that. I can't even believe you said that. Go ahead, man. This man talking stupidity.
Ring of Honor, that's the funniest thing ever. But I mean, let's just be honest. The dude have 32,000 yards, 165 touchdowns, 141 interceptions. He's a 6-time Pro Bowl selection,
Man, you must have read that off Wikipedia. Let's go.
A Super Bowl MVP award. I mean, you have those kind of accomplishments, those stats. I mean, hey, you're legit. I mean, he's not overrated, but let's not forget he did have teams around him. Let's not forget he had a Michael.
We're not talking about the team. We're talking about the quarterback. Is the quarterback overrated?
But the quarterback's dependent on success on his weapons, and this dude have more weapons than a lot of other quarterbacks, Jay McLovin.
Jesus Christ, man. I can't even. No, Chris Brown, just go, man. Just go. Chris Brown, go. It's your turn.
Troy Aikman is a great probably. I'm not even going to say no. I want to say argue because I know Roger Staubach, but let's say he's a great Cowboy. What he did for that organization, 3 championships in 3 or 4 or 5 years, they dominated that little era. Them and the 49ers of the 90s. But so as a Cowboy, he's a great Cowboy. But when you look at other quarterbacks in the all-time list, I don't think anybody should try to say he's an all-time great, quarterback because his touchdown and interception ratio is very, very bad. He doesn't have a lot of passing yards. But, for what he did to that team, helped them lead there. He was that leader for that team. Yes, he's a great Cowboy. He's a great quarterback, but I will not say he's the greatest. So if you want to say he's the greatest, then he's overrated. But if you just want to give him his credit where credit is due, then can't take that away from him.
All right, Coach Cam, what you got?
I'm not gonna say he was overrated though. I'm not saying he's an all time great. I'm not saying that, but I'm not saying he's overrated. I like
Mm.
winners. I like winners. There's something to be said. Maybe that's just the coach in me. I like somebody that's gonna get it done no matter what the weapons is. I know quarterbacks that had good weapons and didn't get 3 rings. So even though he had arguably one of the best running backs of all time and the stout line and Michael Irvin, he won. And you know what? And you can't take that away from him. So I don't think he's overrated at all, and he got his place where it needs to be.
Hey, Brandon Herrera, the drink for tonight is Liberty Creek's California Cabernet Sauvignon 2000, man. Beautiful bottle, beautiful blend. What you got, Freddie?
I'm not saying we're taking away from him, but I'm just saying, when you have, elite players around you, that does help your case. And like Chris said, the numbers are decent, but they're not all time great. So we're not going to pump him up and say he's an all time great. That's not what he is. He's a good leader for that team. But let's not act like, if you didn't have
I'm
Mike.
sorry, was the question over? Was it all-time great, or was the question is he overrated? I thought the question was, is he overrated? I don't think the man's overrated. I think the man's got 3 damn Super Bowls, 6 Pro Bowls, a Heisman runner-up. What the hell? Stop disrespecting so damn much.
It's not disrespect. It's not disrespect.
Man, that's flat out. That's flat out. Everybody in this panel will tell you that's flat out disrespect, man. But that's all right. We'll move on to the next topic. If Tua has a bad performance against the Rams, will the Dolphins bench him for Fitz? I think if that was to happen, that would be the biggest mistake the Dolphins could make, because that would absolutely destroy his confidence and put him into a purgatory of self-doubt. So I hope it doesn't happen. I don't think it will happen. I think they need to write him out since they made that decision. I don't think it was a wrong decision. I think Fitzmagic should have had that the whole time, but they made the decision, and now they got to stick with it. Go ahead, Freddie.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, Chris Brown said they made the decision too early, and if they made, at this point, you have to keep him in. You have to ride him out. You cannot say, okay, we're gonna play a couple of games. You play bad, let's pull him out. Let's pull you out, because at that point it shows that you don't have confidence in him, and then you definitely gonna make yourself look bad by giving up on Fitz a lot too soon. So if you say this dude is part of your future, this dude that you're gonna depend on for the rest of the season, you have to ride him out.
All right, Chris Brown, what you got?
Yeah, I agree with Jimmy Lovin. I don't think they should have taken him out for Fitz. I think Fitz was doing a good job. They're 3-3. Easily could have had a better record. They've been playing good football. So I don't think it was time to put 2 in. But I still agree with you. If you take him out after one bad game, you're ruining his confidence. There's one thing a coach and an organization cannot do, especially to your top pick as a quarterback, is take away his confidence. Because once you take away somebody's confidence, especially a quarterback, they're not going to be the same type player. And then when I look at their schedule, they have the Rams, Arizona, they have the Chargers, Denver, the Jets, Cincinnati, KC, New England, Las Vegas, and Buffalo. They're not playing the greatest defenses, towards the end of the season. They have a couple of good teams, but a lot of bad defenses. So hopefully he can get some confidence and establish some confidence in those games to move forward the next year.
I agree with what Joey Woods said. I don't think Tua is going to be a great NFL quarterback. I think he's going to be I think it was a good college quarterback. I don't think he's great. I think that right now, outside of Joey Burrow going to Cincinnati, the second best pick was Herbert going to the Chargers. Herbert's the real truth, man. Much more than Tua. And I think the Dolphins screwed that up. I think the Dolphins should have taken Herbert or at least drafted down if they felt like Herbert was going to go later and taken Herbert. But I think Tua was the wrong pick for them. That's just my opinion. Dolphins were right on the rest of the season and they probably will. What you got, Coach Cam?
This is a very touchy subject for me, just because if Tua goes out there and stinks up the joint, you can't go back to Ryan Fitzpatrick. Also, the veterans in the locker room looking like at the coach like, what the hell just happened? We were 3-3. And now you put in this rookie, and now we 4-9. Like, so then you're eyeballing the coaches in the organization what's winning a priority. So it's very touchy subject, but then you have to figure out, is Tua the quarterback for you? Because you remember the Dolphins got that Texans pick, which is now looking like top 3, top 5. So
Yes.
now if you look at it and say Tua's not it, you may package 2 picks, move up to 1, and get Trevor Lawrence and trade Tua. That's
Yeah,
but
but you know how hard that
that's
would
why
be
you
for
got to
them to do
figure out if
that.
Tua's the man or not. It happened to
Mm.
Josh Rosen. It happened to
It
Josh
did.
Rosen.
It
It
did.
happened to anybody.
Yeah,
Yes.
but what I'm saying is the Jets are like the worst team in the league. I mean, nobody can tank worse than the Jets at this point. So they'd have to trade with the Jets to get that pick.
I
But
understand
hold on,
that.
but you know what though? The
They
caveat
got
to
Darnold.
that is what's the caveat? The caveat is
The
Trevor
Jets.
Lawrence said he's going back for his senior season.
I can't see it.
I can't see
He
it
already
either.
said he's going to do it. He came out
I
on
don't,
ESPN and said he's going to do it.
I don't know
He said
why,
he's going
man.
back for his senior season.
It's that
But
hype.
I don't blame the guy, quite honestly. But the Jets having the number 1 pick, I'd go back for my senior season too. Go ahead, Chris Brown.
See, I blame the media for, and I hope this is not, well, I hope he's thinking for himself, but I hope the media didn't, but I feel like all that was being said, just from the outside looking in, it's looking like the media put that pressure on him. You got to understand, Sam Darnold was not the problem with the Jets. It's not like Josh Rosen with the Dolphins. Josh Rosen is nowhere near as good as Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is balling with not a lot of talent. So I doubt the Jets would have drafted Trevor Lawrence. So I feel like they was putting that head that he was going to the Jets. If you watch the Jets, the quarterback issue is not the problem. So, him going, I hope everything goes well for him in Clemson. They have a good backup quarterback at Clemson right now. It's going to be a beast whenever he gets the chance to play. But, man, I just don't like the move by him. I wish he'd go to the NFL and get that money.
Yeah, I mean, hey, like I said to you, I told you earlier about that market situation, how it'd be a better financial situation for him to do so. Having said that, hey, to answer Joey's question, I don't know, man. I don't think you can say it quite yet because Jalen Hurts is over there in Philly sitting there soaking up the knowledge behind Carson Wentz. And I think when that dude comes out, he'll come out legit because that dude's got a ton of heart. He's classy, he studies, and he's going to be ready to go. So don't count out Jalen Hurts. He played under Saban. What you got, Coach Cam?
Yeah, and the Trevor Lawrence thing, like the whole "don't go to the Jets" thing, it kind of reminded me of what last year what they did to kind of how they tried to do the Cincinnati Bengals with Burrow. Don't go to the Bengals, and it was just like we don't reward quarterbacks. Like that was my whole thing. Like we had Carson Palmer. Yeah, we got into it with the organization, but he gave us good years. You know what I mean? Andy Dalton still gave us 10 good years, 9 solid years, like 5 straight playoff appearances. So it's just kind of it was ironic. Now the whole thing is don't go to the Jets with Trevor Lawrence. Man, go to the league. Man. Yeah, go to the league. You cannot waste and afford to get injured. All it takes is one freak accident, and you done lost yourself millions of dollars.
Worst case scenario, he could always, like I said, pull Eli Manning. If he really doesn't want to go play for the Jets, he can go play for another team. If Eli Manning can do it, so can he. Hey, there'll be somebody out there that'll take him and will draft up for him. I promise you that.
Oh, yes, he's a beast. He's a beast.
Hey, right now the score, I believe, is 16-14.
Who's winning?
The Falcons are winning by 2. So it's about a 2-point game, and they're in the third quarter. What's y'all's predictions? Can the Falcons actually pull it out, or will this be just another lead that they're going to blow? Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I picked the Falcons to lose because they're always blowing leads. So if they come out and finally, I've been picking them, I feel like every single game. So if now they want to go out and win when I don't pick them, I'm going to be pissed off. But at the end of the day, it's a division game, so I think it's going to come down to the fourth quarter. This Panthers team showed a lot of fight playing the Saints. So that's why I picked them. I thought they were going to play better. But, final score, I do think the Panthers will be able to pull it out in the fourth quarter. Hopefully. I'm hoping.
Well, right now they're at about 11. They're at the 11:30 mark in the third. So they're still at the top of the third quarter. Falcons got the ball, and it's 16-14. Go ahead, Coach.
I got the Panthers. I still got the Panthers winning this game. I just can't pick the Atlanta Falcons for anything, especially them closing the game. I still got Teddy Bridgewater doing this thing, finishing out this game, and I think somehow, some way, Atlanta will find a way to mess it up.
I don't think, to answer his question, COVID ain't going to affect Trevor Lawrence. He's Trevor freaking Lawrence. It'll just mean he'll miss a few games. Atlanta gets they do have a curse. All right, go ahead, Freddie. Wrap up that question.
I agree. I'm going with Carolina just because of the defense, just because they hustle the hard. I think they'll, the defense will lock up in the fourth quarter even more. And I think the Falcons will give away another lead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Freddie, go ahead and throw up them last couple of ads for us, if you don't mind. We got Suzanne Paparazzi Jewelry. Actually, correction. We'll go ahead and go to the T-shirt ads first. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We got a free T-shirt. Free T-shirt. All you got to do is like, comment, follow, share. Get our word out to the masses. Be the most doing it, and we'll get you that free T-shirt. If you don't want to wait for the free T-shirt, you can always buy a T-shirt off our website at $25 plus shipping and handling. Good T-shirts. Either win it or buy it. Either way, you're going to love that T-shirt. All right, this broadcast is brought to you by Suzanne Paparazzi Jewelry. All products are lead and nickel. All products are $5. Special offer for ASAP Sports viewers. Free matching earrings when you buy a necklace. We got Christmas, New Year's, birthdays, February, Valentine's Day. Plenty of opportunities to buy some really cheap stuff at a cheap quality stuff for that special someone. And you can get that at paparazziaccessories.com, promo code 160920. We certainly do appreciate everybody's viewership. And again, if you enjoy vibing with us, if you enjoy this content, please don't forget to like, share. Lots of sharing, folks, if you like what we got. And comment. We always enjoy a good conversation. Say what's up to the people before we go, fellas.
Just want to thank everybody for watching. Like he said, like this on this video, comment on here and share it. And just look for Real Talk every Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. We're not going to announce it now, but next Sunday we have a special show. You'll hear about it Monday. So follow this page so you can see the announcement.
What you got, Chris?
Yeah, we have a special guest coming on Sunday, special announcement. Want everybody to be excited and be ready for it. This is a great show. Love debating with my brothers, man. I'm glad that Jay McLovin knows the Cowboys just, are not going to win this game against the Eagles. I'm glad he had admitted it. And, that's all I got to say about that. My Eagles going to win first in the division. That's all I care about, man. Oh, my God. This is great. Fly.
Go ahead, Coach Cam.
No, appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure you share, tag your friends. Make sure you watch us, and hopefully Derrick Henry doesn't run for 300 yards against my Bengals this week.
Oh man,
that's all I'm hoping for.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our show. I'm host JJ McLovin saying we love you guys. We out of here.
Peace out.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so type the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.